the mean tactic you just used to start the recording? Because you said mini apple stick, and the only thing I heard was gonna take a ride on the disco stick.
Oh, gaga. Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, and even yesterday. Always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
Together this week, we are looking at a poem from the third anthology of my high school collection, Analogy of Life. Dave, I'm sorry I couldn't find us to break up this mess.
Yeah. We needed a break between Love and Love 2. And by a break, I mean, like, a chasm.
An uncrossable chasm.
Yes.
Well, Dave, to bring us into the realm of poetry and one step closer to the mess that is Love 2, let's hear yours for today. What did you have?
This is a poem that I am calling 1214. From the bottom of my heart, from the top of my head, from the pit of my gut, from the tips of my toes, from the marrow of my bones, from the drums of my ear, please stop screaming.
Oh, that hit hard.
Right?
Oh. Dave, that was a good poem.
That's an authentic poem.
That one cut to the quick.
Right?
Yes.
With every fiber of my being, please just stop screaming. Oh, we had a rough night with our daughter last night. So
Yeah, when you said 12:14, I initially thought it was going to be one of your half-baked. I wrote this at 12:15. We recorded 12:30. No, you cut the other way.
This was AM, baby.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your daughter is in better spirits today.
Yeah.
Those
You can probably hear her because I don't think we can cut out their screams of laughter and joy.
No, I can't really. If we sat in silence for a bit, I might be able to get that sound and then have Audacity try and wipe it, but I think it would just take half of our voices.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was watching a YouTube video with a whole production team, and clearly they had tried to cut out some white noise in the background, and you could tell. Like, it was rough.
Yeah. It works for a nice monotone, like, air conditioner.
Right?
Less so for, like, car traffic and kids and planes.
Right, noisy neighbors.
Yeah. Just kind of grin and bear it. But we'll have them accompany this to lighten the mood as we dive into Love 2.
Womp womp.
And I think by the end of this reading, your poem about a screaming child might just apply to please stop reading.
There we go. We found a new tagline for our podcast. Please stop reading.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go, Dave. Love 2. Why must love be so hard? It's the world's greatest puzzle that no one has ever solved completely. For to learn to love, one must learn heartbreak. From love at first sight, heartbreak is inevitable. Why must love be attached to heartbreak? To the death of the soul. Okay, sorry. To death of the soul.
I like that more.
You do?
Yeah. Take out the article so it's more generalized. I think that actually makes a little more sense. That it's not the death of the soul, but it's death of the soul.
To death of the soul. Okay, you've convinced me.
I think that's
a poetic line.
As far as your errors in writing go, this one almost makes the poem better.
Almost helps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, first impressions, I believe the word is exhausting. And exhaustive, but mostly exhausting.
Yeah, exhaustive in that, like, this is clearly the sequel to Love from last week,
Yep.
which I did have a poem titled Love in the previous anthology.
Gosh.
Conveniently, season 2, episode 3. So season 3, episode 3, we return to love, different love. So this technically is Love 3.
No, it's Love 2.1.
There you go. Yes, and it is bad. It is bad.
Well, that's all the time we have on today's episode.
Yep. We're going to leave you this week with the words of any poet.
We're going to leave you the theme from Barney, because that was decent compared to this.
Yeah. Okay, Dave. So, beyond first impressions, why must love be so hard?
Oh my gosh. Why must love be so hard? And again, you're making this so direct that love is only relationships.
Yep. Love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
And heartbreak.
That's even worse. Like, it's not even like a relationship that develops over time. It's just love at first sight.
Well, it says from love at first sight, heartbreak is inevitable. Assumes that the relationship blossoms and grows and becomes beautiful and then is broken.
I would argue that love at first sight is kind of broken itself.
Fair enough. Maybe if infatuation would have been a better term.
Yes.
I think the boldness of a 16-year-old self to declare that no one has ever solved the puzzle that is love.
Yes.
Is pretty presumptuous.
That is a big understatement, but yes, very, very presumptuous. This is giving me The Matrix is such a complicated movie. Like, that's the energy I'm getting from it. The Matrix isn't actually that complicated of a movie. It's just, like, there's a lot of unanswered questions that people didn't want to explore because they just didn't really care much. And so they're like, no, it's really complicated. Love is not actually that complicated.
No.
Like, people overemphasize the complicatedness of it so that it's easier to explain why love falls apart. And oh no, now we have a 32-year-old dude saying, I understand love. Crud.
Yeah, you want to walk that back, Dave?
Yeah, I'm always wrong. I have always been wrong. I will always be wrong.
I think that is the interesting thing that we could pull from this, is that it's asking a universal question. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say it because you'll sing it, but it's asking a universal question around the idea of love and how we experience it together, if it's shared.
So like, this universal question would be something like, I just from the, what is love? You're welcome.
Yeah, it was unavoidable.
Yeah, I mean, when you retread all of this, I have to retread my only joke that I have. Here's a random outburst of song. And usually the same song.
It's hard to do a podcast when the previous self's material is just all retread every time. Okay, here's something I want to ask you, Dave.
Okay.
This is a stipulation that my 16-year-old self was making. To learn to love is to also learn heartbreak. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Okay. Well,
that was very easy.
Explain thyself.
I don't wanna. That's perfect for an audio medium. We're just gonna move along and sit in silence. No, love is not just relationships. Like, love
Okay. Okay. I see what you're getting at.
Yes.
There's the love of a family, there's the
Yeah.
love of a community. But when it and that does not require heartbreak to
Yes.
know and to experience and to live into. Okay. If we were
And
to
also
limit
one
ourselves.
one must learn heartbreak. I don't think that that is a requirement to understanding love, to understand heartbreak, especially because like last week we kind of talked about those the little deaths. That wasn't last week, was it?
No, it was the small deaths. We
Oh,
didn't say
the
little deaths because of the implication from medieval song.
yeah, small deaths. No, just like the brokenness that we experience. And I think heartbreak has its own big meaning.
Hmm.
Like I think that heartbreak is a part of life, but heartbreak is ultimately not a part of love. Heartbreak is kind of an antithesis of love.
Okay. Okay. So whereas this previous poem believes that is taking love and the the lack of love as part of the definition of love.
Yeah.
You're saying that love when it's over is no longer an aspect of love. Heartbreak is its own separate category of like
Yeah.
loneliness, disappointment, grief, small death.
To understand something, you have to understand nothing. Is more yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like
Okay.
that doesn't make sense. Like to understand a basketball, you have to understand a lack of basketball. Like I just
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
that is the worst metaphor anyone has ever made.
This is a crappy poem with
With a crappy message.
yeah, and the follow up to Love, which was all about the end of love is death. we come back to that with To Death of the Soul, which I do agree. I think you've convinced me on that. That is maybe the most poetic line of this entire thing.
But again, that's like saying cow manure smells better than pig manure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, but still cow manure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So here's my thing: the revival cast recording of Into the Woods just dropped today.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
and it's phenomenal. It's so good.
I'm going back to my previous metaphor of pig manure and cow manure.
Anyway,
It might be an improvement over the pig manure, but it's still cow manure.
okay, so
Said with love and a lot of anger.
so
I'm going to keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done.
so I'm thinking of my context for images of love as I'm crafting these poems as a 16-year-old. Being raised in a house where my sister blared Sondheim all the time, and I inherited that love. There are songs in Sondheim that have similar themes. Now, one is comedic that I probably didn't realize at the time how comedic it truly is, but that's Agony and the Agony reprise
Yep.
from Into the Woods. But then I think the more complex picture that Sondheim paints in Company,
In what?
Company,
Oh, okay.
with songs like Being Alive and Marry Me a Little, there's these pictures of a complicated love or relationship where fighting and where unequal compromises are made. And I think at a 16-year-old level, I'm hearing these songs like Agony and Marry Me a Little and Being Alive. And I'm like, yes, this is love. To know agony, to say, somebody hold me too close, somebody hurt you too deep, somebody sit in your chair and ruin your sleep. And then like there's like somebody need you too much, someone to know you too well, someone to pull you up short, to put you through hell. It's the balance. And so I'm hearing that song as a love ballad. And in my mind, I'm like, yes, love and love too is to know somebody to give you heartbreak, someone to have you experience a small death. That's my best justification for this view of love.
I want you to understand this, Aaron. As much as I dislike Sondheim, you're making me dislike his music more because his music inspired this poetry.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he's going down in my estimation because of what you did to his work. That's impressive. I assumed there was a basement on this thing, but we are digging through the concrete of an unfinished basement right now.
We're in a subcellar or whatever.
I experienced that as well. One of my all-time favorite musicals is Guys and Dolls, which is a really fun musical.
It is.
But then you actually listen to the words, and it's very misogynistic. It's very one-sided. Love is something that happens to women, and it's something that men do. They show love, they give love. Yeah, especially when you get into when you see a guy reach for stars in the sky, you can bet that he's doing it for some doll.
Yep.
And then also just the connotation of referring to women as dolls, as in a plaything. It's real bad. It's real bad.
Yes. Yep.
Do we have to examine all of the American culture and realize that there's entrenched misogyny and racism in it all?
Nah.
No. Okay. I was worried for a second. Oh, no, that one hurt. That one hurt. That is a joke that is too close to home.
Are you experiencing a small death of the soul, Dave?
Yeah.
The heartbreak that you have knowing that one of your favorite musicals has problems. It's problematic.
Oh my gosh. All of my favorite musicals and pieces of media and myself.
Okay. Well, Dave.
Yes.
As we have debated love and heartbreak. Is this good or garbage?
Heartbreak. That's not really an answer. That's terrible. I've been working on a list of ways to insult your poetry. Nice. So far, it is one bullet point long, and it's just, this is good considering it was written by you. I can't use that for this poem because it's not good, even considering it was written by you. The other day, my son found a light bulb, and he decided to pick up said light bulb, which was broken. The filament was already broken in it, and he decided to throw it down the stairs. It was a very exciting time because it was a very loud pop, and then there was glass everywhere. So I would say this is like that light bulb that was broken, and then it got even more broken somehow. It got less useful and almost actively harmful. So, you are a broken light bulb that I am on my hands and knees trying to clean up.
Dave, I want to.
Oh, I say to this poem, not to you, Aaron.
Okay. So, I was gonna just challenge you there on the you are a.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, my whole purpose in this is to make you angry.
Should we talk a bit about that toxic masculinity thing again?
Rude. Fine. I'll do something nice.
Oh, you don't have to
To
do
the
some...
woods to feed the cow, to sail the cow, to get to the fair.
You don't even give that show a fighting chance, Dave.
I have seen it 3 times. I have listened to multiple cast recordings. They're all garbage.
How are we friends?
I don't know, buddy.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this week with the words of a true poet. This is from Anne Reeve Aldrich, and this is called Rose Song. Plant above my lifeless heart crimson roses, red as blood, as if the love pent there so long were pouring forth its flood. Then through them my heart may tell its past of love and grief, and I shall feel them grow from it and know a vague relief. Through rotting shroud shall feel their roots, and unto them myself shall grow. And when I blossom at her feet, she on that day shall know.
Now that is a poem that I feel like I have to read multiple times because there's a lot of layers in there. And as somebody who is as uncultured as I am, the fact that I hate Sondheim.
Clearly, yeah.
I am uncultured swine. But no, there's a lot of beauty in that, and there is so much to unpack from it. I like that. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, next week we will. I'll do better at trying to.
No, just stop there. I'll do better. I'll do better.
I'll do better in every
I make
way.
no such promises for myself.
My previous self, it won't be better, but we will at least be done with the love saga. Yeah, I think we should have a guest for next week. No. I got nothing else. Dave, you have anything?
No.
Great. This has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write your own bad poetry.
So I can't convince you on Sondheim. I can't.
You will never convince
I will never
me
convince
on
you on
Sondheim.
Sondheim. That's fair.
Oh, garbage.
Makes me judge all of your taste in anything.
As well you should. I have horrible taste in everything.
Rhyme free doesn't matter.